Good evening, everybody. Welcome to First Responder Broadcasting's presentation of Georgetown Eagle Baseball live here on the SHN Sports Network. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Jerry Ann Harmon, making it all work behind the scenes. And we're live tonight at Hendrickson High School in Pflugerville, Texas for tonight's Game 1 of the Best of 2 series between your Georgetown Eagles and the Hendrickson Hawks. The rock concert brought to you by courtesy of the Hendrickson Hawks Press Box. They will not turn it down. It is loud out here right now in the pregame. The coaches meet at home plate. It's Jordan Vieira along with manager Jared Frimmel for Georgetown and coach David Neely for the Hendrickson Hawks. Meeting with the two-man umpire crew. Georgetown, the visitors here tonight out of the third base dugout, will be wearing the all-gray unis, gray pants, gray tops. Georgetown and capital block print lettering across the front in blue with blue numbers on the back, with the knee-high pants, blue socks, blue helmets, blue shoes, cleats for the Georgetown Eagles. An all-grass surface for the infield and outfield grassy areas, dirt infield, dirt pitcher's mound, turfed home plate area here at Hendrickson High School. 348 to the right field, right center gap, 353 to left center gap, 400 straight dead center field, 320 down the left line. I'm going to imagine it's 320 down the right line, but hard to see as the measurement is come off of the wall out in right field. The home team tonight, the Hendrickson Hawks in the white uniforms, maybe a little cream uniform with the H logo on the front, and it is with navy blue with the knee-high socks, some low pant socks with blue socks, blue hats out of the first base dugout for your home Hendrickson Hawks. Starting lineup for tonight's ball game. The Hendrickson Hawks come in to tonight's ball game. We'll go over it here. Hendrickson Hawks come into the ballgame tonight, 5-12 overall, 3-1 in district play on a one-game winning streak. They are averaging 7.5 runs a game in district, 3.5 runs allowed in district play. The starting lineup, as selected by head coach David Neely, leading it off at catcher, number 18, Braden Borger. Batting second, the shortstop, number 12, Kevin Haslam. Batting third, the center fielder, number 9, Cole McCracken. Batting fourth, the pitcher, number 22, Camden Malott. Batting fifth, the DH, number 7, Gavin Fierro. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 11, Jake McGuire. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 10, Connor Padilla. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 8, Hunter Hicks. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 16, Rhett Peterson. Borger, Haslam, McCracken in the top third. Malott, Fierro, McGuire in the middle third. Padilla, Hicks, and Peterson, the bottom third for the Hendrickson Hawks. In right field for the Hawks will be number 3, DeLeo. He will be pinch hit for by Gavin Fierro. For the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles, who come in 10-7-1 on the season, 5-1 in district on a 3-game winning streak. They are averaging 8.7 runs a game in district, 1.2 runs against. And they will send this starting lineup to the home plate umpire for tonight's ball game as selected by head coach Jordan Vieira. Leading it off at shortstop, number 7, Jack Kiki. Batting second, the catcher, number 23, Connor Young. Batting third, the first baseman, number 12, David Flewitt. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 16, Hayden Grooms. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 6, Luke Holley. Batting seventh, the DH, number 8, Jaden Howell. Batting seventh, the pitcher, number 21, Braden Curtin. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 24, Cooper Thomas. Kiki, Young, and Fluid in the top third. Grooms, Holley, and Howell in the middle third. Curtin, Ritchie, and Thomas in the bottom third of the Georgetown lineup. Being pitched in for is the second baseman, number 2, Jalem Hunter. So Camden Malott on the mound for the Hendrickson Hawks, and Braden Curtin on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles tonight here in the ball game. Georgetown baseball is presented by King's Pest Control, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years, family and locally owned since 1982. It's 930-PEST, 512-930-7378. Join us as we take the national anthem. Back here live, Hendrickson High School. You get ready to go to the top of the first as the Georgetown Eagles will lead it off here in the top of the first with Jack Kiki, Connor Young, and David Fluid against Camden Malott. The right-hander, senior right-hander for the Hendrickson Hawks as he goes through his warm-up pitches here for the first inning of tonight's ball game. Hendrickson, 68 runs scored on the year, 30 in district play, 96 runs allowed, 14 in district, averaging 4 runs a game on the season, 7.5 in district, 5.6 runs per game, with 3.5 runs against here in district play. Georgetown leads the head-to-head series between these two teams, 4-0. Georgetown in those 4 games has scored 37 runs, allowed 9. Georgetown averaging 9.25 runs a game, allowing 2.25 runs against Hendrickson head-to-head. Georgetown leads the district standings with the Hawks. Georgetown at 5-1, Hendrickson at 3-1. Eastview right behind at 4-2, Pflugerville at 2-2. Weiss and Elgin both tied at 2-4 in district, and Conley sits at 0-4. Other action tonight, District 23, Elgin on the road at Pflugerville, Eastview at Conley, and Georgetown here at Hendrickson. The Weiss Wolves have the week off in district play in their season. So the band continues to play here before the umpire cuts it off till we go to the top of the first. It'll be the junior shortstop, Jack Kiki, stepping in to lead things off for your Georgetown Eagles. He'll step in from the right side.
Now batting for Georgetown, number 7, Jake Kiki.
It's Jack Kiki that steps in, but we'll get it right here before too long. As Malott will work out of the windup. The first pitch to Kiki is in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Malott works from the first base side of the rubber in a sidewinder type windup. And the 0-1 pitch to Kiki. Ground ball pulled foul down the third baseline. 0-2 the count. Malott will throw a lot of bending stuff. It'll spin, it'll drop, it'll turn, it'll curve. So Georgetown has got to be patient tonight against the senior right-hander, Camden Malott, for the Hendrickson Hawks here. Game number 1 of this best-of-2 series, Friday night back home at Eagle Field. The 0-2 pitch. Kiki checks the swing and takes it for ball 1. 1-2 the count to the junior shortstop. Check down the first base on a delay. It's no-go for Kiki. The count 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man. Malott gets the sign from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Foul tip, strike 3 into the glove of the catcher, Borger. 4 out, number 1. First strikeout of the ball game for Malott. And with 1 down here at the top of the first, it'll bring up the catcher, the sophomore, number 23, Connor Young. Throws right, bats left as he steps in here in the top of the first. Base is empty for Georgetown. Coach Chad Payne down on the third base coaching box. The first pitch to Young here on the inside corner for a called strike 1. Coach David Durrell down in the first base coaching box for your Eagles here tonight at Hendrickson High School. The 0-1 pitch to Young. Slapped foul into the net down the third baseline. 0-2 the count to Connor Young with David Fluid, the first baseman, on deck for your Georgetown Eagles. Malott from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Friday night, 7 o'clock, back at Eagle Field. Game 2 of this one is scheduled to go. Come join us there at Georgetown High School on Friday night. The 1-2 pitch to Young. Up and in for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Thursday night, 6:45 start. Maybe 7 o'clock, depends on when we get ready. It'll be the Coaches Show live at Camp Brightside. Come join us. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out towards short. Haslam up with it. The throw across the diamond in the dirt. Dug out there by Hicks at first base for the putout. 6-3 to retire Young for out number 2. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, in steps the first baseman, number 12, senior David Fluid. Fluid throws left, bats left, steps in here in the top of the first for the Georgetown Eagles. From the windup, the first pitch to Fluid. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Camp Brightside on a Thursday night, 6:45, 7 o'clock start. Freshman JV players of the week, couple of varsity players. The 0-1 pitch on the inside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. On deck, the third baseman, Hayden Grooms. Should Fluid be able to extend the inning here in the top of the first. Malott from the windup, the 1-1. Ground ball out towards second. Peterson up with it, sets his feet, throws across to first base in time to retire Fluid for out number 3. The Eagles go in order here in the top of the first. After half an inning, Georgetown 0. Pflugerville Hendrickson coming up to bat. Eagle baseball continues in a moment live here on the SHN Sports Network.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hate my trends. Word up OG, watch how you talking your tone. What I be on, you cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T.
King's Pest Control, family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. 512-930-PEST. 512-930-7378. Visit them, www.kingspest.com. Serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years. It's King's Pest Control. We go to the bottom of the first. There's Braden Curtin on the mound, the junior right-hander for Georgetown, here in game number 1 as he goes through his warm-ups. He'll face off against the top 3 in the lineup for the Hawks, Borger, Haslam, and McCracken. The Hawks, kind of a cream-colored off-white uniform with the navy blue numerals on the back and front. The H logo on the front of the cream-colored jerseys, blue trim on the pants and shirts of the Hendrickson Hawk baseball team. The coaches in the cream pants with blue trim and the blue Hendrickson Hawk baseball batter's jacket. We'll see where it went. Lost all of my online stuff. Curtin finishes up. He'll work out of the windup to start things off with the bases empty. Works from the first base side of the rubber. And it'll be the catcher, number 18, Braden Borger. He'll bat from the left side to lead things off here. For the Hendrickson Hawks. Trying to get the defense brought up for you. Just a little delay with some IT technical difficulties. Georgetown defense tonight. And I have it all wrong. I didn't update it. I'm going to take it down. I'll get it updated for you here in a minute. We'll get the defense lined out. And some catcher's gear difficulty here for Connor Young on the intercom system used between pitching coach Chad Payne and the catcher Connor Young to get the signals and give them to the team, the pitcher on the mound. A little bit of delay here with the catcher's gear malfunction. The winner of this game will have sole possession of the district lead with one loss and the other team dropping to 2 losses. It'll be essentially tied with Eastview if Eastview were to win tonight, as they will do battle with Conley. Eastview on the road at Conley tonight. And so it'll be interesting to watch here. See who wins this one. And now Connor Young ready to go as he comes out. And we go to action here in the bottom of the first. Curtin ready to go on the mound. We'll get the sign from Connor Young. And the first pitch to the catcher, Braden Borger. Here in the bottom of the first. Misses low and outside. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Kevin Haslam, Cole McCracken also due up here at the bottom of the first for the Hendrickson Hawks. Curtin's 1-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 1-2, 2-0. The count. Curtin gets the sign from the windup. The 2-0 pitch. Line drive hit out past Hunter into right center field. It's a leadoff base hit for the catcher Borger. So that'll bring out a courtesy runner here for the Hawks. It'll be number 9 coming out to run. Coleman. Nope, it will not be number 9. Number 19 coming out to run. It's going to be Logan Clark, the junior, to run for the catcher Braden Borger. Now up the shortstop, number 12, Kevin Haslam. He'll step in from the right side. No outs and a runner at first base here. Curtin from the stretch now with the runner on base. The first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. To Haslam, 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Haslam. On deck, Cole McCracken, the right fielder. Correction, the center fielder. Logan Clark leads off first. Fluid holds him on there. The 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Curtin gets a sign, comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Throw down behind the runner, Clark, not in time. 2-2 the count. To Kevin Haslam. Here in the bottom of the first. Eagles retired in order in the top of the first. The Hawks batting here at the bottom of the first inning. Leadoff single by the catcher Borger. Being run for by Logan Clark at first base. The 2-2 pitch, runner off. Foul back to the screen. The count remains 2-2 now. To Kevin Haslam. Curtin's 5th start of the season. Comes in with a .778 ERA and a .261 batting average against. Swing and a miss, strike 3 to Kevin Haslam for out number 1. First strikeout for Curtin with 1 out and a runner at first. In steps the center fielder, number 9, Cole McCracken. He'll look down towards third and get the signs from head coach David Neely. Step in from the left side. 18th strikeout on the year for Curtin on the mound. First pitch, square to bunt, bunted at it. The runner is off, throw down, plenty of time as Logan Clark slides into the glove of Jack Kiki for out number 2. So a strike on McCracken on the bunt attempt, and then a caught stealing. Connor Young to Jack Kiki. 2-6 on the caught stealing for out number 2. That'll erase the base runner. And McCracken will step back in with no ball, 1 strike count. Curtin back to the windup. The 0-1 pitch. In there, called strike 2. 0-2 the count now to the center fielder. Cole McCracken with Camden Malott, the pitcher, on deck. Should McCracken be able to extend the inning here for the Hawks? Curtin gets the sign from Connor Young. The 0-2 pitch. Pop fly down the left field line will curl out of play. And their count remains no balls, 2 strikes. To McCracken, the number 3 hitter in the Hawk lineup. Leadoff base hit erased on the caught stealing by Connor Young. And now with 2 outs, the 0-2 pitch from Curtin. Foul ball back into the screen down the third baseline. Count remains 0-2. Curtin looks in, gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch to McCracken. Fouled off back to the screen. Good 0-2 battle here by the center fielder, Cole McCracken. Curtin from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Up and away, ball one. 1-2 the count now. 2 outs and the base is empty. For the Hawks here in the bottom of the first. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. McCracken down on strikes for out number 3. And the Hawks go in order thanks to the caught stealing here in the bottom of the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on after 1 complete. 0-0 your score. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment.
Yeah. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking Bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready, and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking Bake Brody. Independent on my own, I'ma stand. Taking handles, not for me, I like the back of my demands. Bet against me, I'ma need that money coming in advance. I play with God.
Back here at Pflugerville, Texas, on the campus of Hendrickson High School, we go to the top of the second inning. Little hustle out of Coach Durrell down to the first base box as the Eagles will bring up the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Hayden Grooms, Luke Holley, Jaden Howe here to face off against Camden Malott, the senior right-hander, who in the first inning struck out 1 through 12 pitches. The concert goes late. And now Hayden Grooms will step in from the right side. Grooms on the season, batting .297, steps in the first pitch from Malott and swings, drives it into left center field. A long one for Grooms. It's going to one-hop the fence. Hayden around first. He's headed to second base, and Hayden will be held up there with a leadoff double for the Eagles here in the top of the second inning. A beautiful shot by Hayden Grooms. First hit of the ball game, and out to the runner at second. Holley on the season, a .286 batting average. Steps in for the right side, the senior center fielder. Hayden Grooms wasted no time there. He took the first pitch from Malott and drove it about the .353 sign. One hop the fence in left center field for the double. And now Malott will have to throw out of the stretch with a runner on second base. Works from the first base side of the rubber, gets the sign and comes set with a peek back at Grooms at second base. First pitch to Holley, square to bunt, pulls it back and takes it for ball 1. 1-0 the count. To Luke. On deck, the DH, Jaden Howe. Malott comes set. Now he'll throw to second base, but Grooms dives back in under the tag safely. 1-0 the count to Luke Holley. Here in the top of the second, a leadoff double. First base runner of the ball game for the Eagles. Now in scoring position. Malott comes set, the 1-0 pitch to Holley. Square to bunt, drops it down the third baseline, a beauty. Holley down the line, he's going to beat it, base hit. Eagles have runners on the corners. A beautiful bunt by Luke Holley. And he beats it out for the infield single. Back-to-back hits, has runners at the corners with no outs. And Jaden Howe will step in, the DH, for the Eagles. So now pressure being applied by Georgetown here in the top of the second. Now we'll step in. 208 batting average on the season. Jaden stepped in on Saturday and had a beautiful game, 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs against Liberty Hill, 2 walks as well. Steps in here with no outs and runners on the corners. Holley off and running. Howe sends one into center field. The center fielder McCracken turns and runs. It's over his head. Base hit. Howe around first, headed to second. Holley circles third. He's being sent home. It's going to be another 2 RBI base hit for Jaden Howe. Georgetown 2, Hendrickson 0. What a shot by Jaden Howe. He stays hot into the ball game. A 2 RBI double. And Georgetown leads it 2-0 here in the top of the second on back-to-back base hits. After a 3-up, 3-down, top of the first. Groom scored easily from third. Holley motored around from first. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Braden Curtin. He'll step in with no outs and a runner at second base. Curtin steps in with a 242 average on the season. From the right side, it's set Malott. In the stretch, a look at Howe at second base. First pitch to Curtin. Outside, ball 1. Tate Ritchie now in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Here in the top of the second inning. 2 runs across, runner at second, no outs. Leadoff double by Grooms, a bunt single by Holley, and a 2 RBI double by Jaden Howe. Malott comes set. Curtin doesn't like it. He takes time, gets it granted right before Malott went to deliver the 1-0 pitch. So 1 ball, no strikes to count to Braden Curtin here in the top of the second. Malott looks back to second. The 1-0 pitch to Braden. Curtin takes it for a called strike. 1-1 to count. Georgetown dugout trying to give Malott some assistance there when he looks back to second base. Curtin back in for the right side. Malott comes set in the stretch. 1-1 count, no outs and a runner at second. Curtin squares the bunt early. The pitch. Curtin drops the bunt down the third baseline, but foul. Now the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strike count to Braden Curtin. No outs here in the top of the second. Jaden Howe leads off second. Shortstop Haslam. Back and forth to the bag to try to keep Howe close. Malott comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Curtin swing and a miss. Strike 3 for out number 1. Here in the top of the second. Second strikeout of the ball game for Camden Malott. And with 1 out and a runner at second, in steps senior right fielder number 4, Tate Ritchie. Tate steps in with a .333 batting average. Looks over and gets the sign from the dugout. Step in from the right side. First baseman Hicks up on the grass at first base. Third baseman McGuire about even with the bag. Malott a long look in. Now will come set in the stretch. First pitch to Ritchie. Breaking ball. High through the zone for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Tate. The wind picks up and gusts across right to left here in the field. You hear it in the crowd, Mike. Down on the backstop. Ritchie back in for the right side. Malott comes set. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 2. Cooper Thomas, the left fielder on deck, the number 9 hitter for the Eagles. There's Ritchie ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out here in the top of the second. 2 runs across for the Eagles. Jaden Howe drove 2 runs in on his double, scoring Grooms and Holley. Malott comes set. Now towards second. Howe back standing without a throw. as McGuire stays about even with the bag at third. Hicks on the edge of the grass at first. Center fielder shaded over towards left field. Lot comes set. The 2-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 2-1 the count now to Tate Ritchie. Two 2-1 pitch misses for ball 3. So Tate ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Malott looks in. Comes set in the stretch. Howell off second base. The 3-1 pitch to Tate. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. The count runs full now to the right fielder, Tate Ritchie. 1 out here in the top of the second. Malott gets the sign, comes set in the stretch, a peek at second base, and now a throw to second. And a good save there by the shortstop Haslam. Wide of the base, kept it from going into center field. Jaden Howell back standing safely. 3 ball, 2 strike count now to Tate Ritchie with 1 out. 2 runs across. Georgetown leads it 2-0 here in the top of the second. Malott comes set. The payoff pitch outside for ball 4. So a 1 out walk as runners at first and second now. The first walk issued by Malott in the ball game, and in steps Cooper Thomas. Coop, the sophomore left fielder, in the number 9 position. Steps in, batting .308 on the season. They'll move Jack Kiki into the on-deck circle for Georgetown here in the top of the second. Coop in from the right side as Ritchie leads off first. Hicks, the first baseman, on the edge of the grass. The first pitch to Thomas. Then he's unable to check his swing. Call strike 1. 0-1 the count. Malott comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Cooper. Misses outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Leadoff double by Grooms. Bunt single by Holley. Had runners at the corners. Perfect timing for a 2 RBI double by Jaden Howell. Where we sit with 2 runs on the board for Georgetown. Runners at first and second after a walk to Ritchie. Throw to second base, and Howell dives in under the tag. On another throw back. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Cooper Thomas, the left fielder, steps back in from the right side. Mulatto comes set in the stretch. A peek back at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Thomas drives it towards third on a backhand. Step on the back, throw to first, and a scoop at first base to turn the double play to get the Eagles out of the inning. Nice play there by McGuire and Hicks. So Jaden Howell retired on the 5 unassisted at third base for out number 2, and then 5-3 on the putout to get Thomas at first base for out number 3. The Eagles score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, Georgetown leads it 2-0 over Hendrickson. Eagle baseball continues in a minute. back here at Hendrickson High School as we go to the bottom of the second. Georgetown picking up 2 runs in the top of the second, lead it 2-0 defensively for your Eagles. Thomas in left field, Holley in center, Ritchie in right. Grooms at third, Kiki at short, Hunter at second, Fluid at first. Connor Young behind the plate, and Braden Curtin, the junior right-hander, on the mound for your Georgetown Eagles. Batting here in the bottom of the second for the Hawks will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Malott, Fierro, and McGuire. As the pitcher, Camden Malott steps in from the right side, Curtin from the windup. Ground ball hit out to short. Kiki to his left, fields the ball, sets the feet, throws the first in time to retire Malott for out number 1, 6-3 on the putout. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. In his first inning of work, Curtin allowed 1 hit, struck out 2, threw 16 pitches. As he works here in the bottom of the second inning, the DH, Gavin Ferrero, steps in, number 7 from the right side. Curtin remains in the windup with no base runners on it, 1 out. From the first base side of the rubber, the first pitch to Fierro. Outside corner for called strike 1. 0-1 the count with Jake McGuire, the third baseman, on deck for the Hawks. Here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Curtin gets the sign from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. That one's in there for called strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Fierro. Game 1 of the 2 series here at Hendrickson High School tonight. Friday night back at Eagle Field. 7 p.m. The 0-2 pitch. Pop fly out to left field. Cooper Thomas to his left. Will settle under it, make the catch for out number 2. F7 in the book to retire Fierro. And that'll bring up with 2 outs and the bases empty to the third baseman, number 11, Jake McGuire. McGuire will step in from the right side. McGuire in from the right side. 2 outs. The base is empty here in the bottom of the second. Curtin from the windup, the first pitch to McGuire. Just misses low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to the third baseman on deck. Connor Padilla, the left fielder. Should McGuire be able to extend the inning for the Hawks? The 1-0 pitch. Line, or a little sinking liner out towards second base. Cut off and taken by Jalen Hunter. And the Hawks go in order again here in the bottom of the second. After 2 complete, Georgetown 2. Hendrickson 0. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. And we're back here at Hendrickson High School. We go to the top of the third inning. The top of the lineup due up for Georgetown. Kiki, Young, and Fluid. Kiki steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch from Malott, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Jack. Jack struck out in the first inning. Steps in, batting .310 on the season. The 0-1 pitch from Malott. Slapped foul down the first baseline, out of play. 0-2 the count. Defensively for the Hawks, Padilla in left, McCracken in center, DeLeo in right. McGuire at third, Haslam at short, Peterson at second, Hicks at first base. Popped out of play down the first baseline. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes to Kiki. Borger behind the plate, and Camden Malott, the right-handed senior pitcher for the Hawks, on the mound. Here in this third inning of work, The 0-2 pitch, Kiki fouls it towards the third base dugout. Off a teammate or two. Continues the battle here with an 0-2 count. In the second inning, Malott allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, 17 pitches thrown. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on Kiki for out number 1. Third strikeout of the ball game for Camden Malott. That'll bring up the catcher, number 23, Connor Young. 0 for 1 in the ball game, grounded out to short back in the first inning. Steps in here with 1 out and the base is empty. Young in from the left side, Malott from the windup, the first pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 29 pitches through 2 innings for Malott, 12 in the first, 17 in the second. As he works here in inning number 3, the 0-1 pitch to Young. Fouled off, back to the screen, 0-2. Young back in, Malott gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch. That one misses low for ball 1, 1-2 the count. From the windup, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the big breaker. Round number 2, 4th strikeout of the night for Malott. And 2 outs here in the top of the third, and in steps David Fluitt, the first baseman. 0 for 1 in the ball game, grounded out to second back in the first inning. Fluitt batting .407 on the season coming into the ball game. First pitch to Fluitt. Fouled off towards the third base dugout, back from the screen. 0-1 the count. Malott from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Fluitt back in. Malott gets ready to go. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Fluitt stays alive in the at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. The manager, Jared Prim, runs the baseballs out. Get the Georgetown crowd going. No balls, 2 strikes to Fluitt, 2 outs. The base is empty. The 0-2 pitch from Malott. Hits Fluitt. And a 2-out base runner for the Eagles on the hit by pitch. First of the ball game for Malott. And with 2 outs and a runner at first, that'll bring up the third baseman, Hayden Grooms. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Doubled in the top of the second, scored a run. Steps in here with 2 outs. The runner down at first base. So Malott loses one there with an 0-2 count. 2 outs and the base is empty. Can Georgetown capitalize? The center fielder, McCracken, shaded well over into left field after Grooms put one about the 353 sign on a 1-hopper to the wall. Back in the last inning. Malott comes set in the stretch. Fluitt held on by Hicks at first. The first pitch, Grooms takes it low and outside it for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Hayden wasted no time in his first at bat. He took the first pitch and 1-hopped it off the left center field wall for the double. Malott stays away here to open up this second at bat. 1-0 count, 2 outs. Runner at first. Fluitt leads off. Hicks holds him on. Malott in the stretch, comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Line drive over the second baseman's head into right center field. Fluitt around second base. He's headed to third, and he'll be held there. And another double for Hayden Grooms. A nice piece of hitting there as he goes to the opposite side of the center fielder over to right center field. And now with 2 outs, the Eagles have runners on second and third with Luke Holley coming up to bat. 4th inning of the ball game for Georgetown. Luke 1 for 1 in the ball game on a beautiful bunt single back in the second inning. Came around to score the second run of the ball game for Georgetown. Steps in here with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Malott stays in the stretch with runners on second and third. A long look in. Now will come set. A look at second base. The first pitch to Luke. Outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Luke. Lodge comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Down in the turf for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Jaden Howell in the on-deck circle now with Luke on deck, or up to bat. Holley can extend the inning. Howell gets another shot. Malott comes set. The 2-0 pitch to Holley. That one's in there for a called strike. 2-1 to count now to the center fielder. Thursday night, Camp Brightside, 6:45, 7 o'clock, whenever Coach Vieira decides to start. We'll bring you the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. 2-1 pitch, catches the inside corner for called strike 2. 2-2 now the count to Luke Holley with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Holley readies from the right side. Malott, long look in, will come set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Malott gets out of trouble here in the top of the third. And no runs on 1 hit, no errors. And 2 runners left on base after 2.5. Georgetown 2, Hendrickson nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back here live, Hendrickson High School. Serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years is King's Pest Control. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Call them 512-930-PEST. It's 512-930-7378. Or visit them at kingspest.com. We go to the bottom of the third inning. In 2 innings of work, Curtin has faced the minimum thanks to the caught stealing by Connor Young after the leadoff single in the first inning. He struck out 2, allowed 1 hit. Has only thrown 22 pitches. 6 pitches thrown in the second inning. For Curtin, 16 in the first, 6 in the second. As he goes to work here in the bottom of the third to face off against the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Padilla, Hicks, and Peterson. So Connor Padilla, the left fielder, number 10, will step in from the right side to lead things off for Hendrickson. Through 2 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Georgetown. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hawks. As we go to the bottom of the third, Curtin out of the windup. From the first base side of the rubber, we'll get the sign. And the first pitch to Padilla. Pop up on the right side of the infield. Fluid into foul territory. Has plenty of room. And will make the catch for out number 1. P3 in the book to retire Padilla. And for the second time in as many innings, the leadoff batter takes the first pitch swinging and is recorded out. Last inning, Malott took the first pitch of the inning and grounded out to Kiki at short. Now Padilla pops up in foul territory to Fluid on the first pitch of the third inning. Swing and a miss by Hunter Hicks, the first baseman, who steps in for his first plate appearance in the ball game. Bats left, steps in here. 0-1 count, 1 out. The base is empty in the bottom of the third for the Hawks. Curtin from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. On deck, the second baseman, number 16, Rhett Peterson. Hitting in the 9-hole. Hicks back in. Curtin gets the sign, the 0-2 pitch. Up and away, ball one. 1-2 the count now to Hunter Hicks. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off into the screen down the third baseline. Hicks stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Curtin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hicks down on strikes for out number 2. Third strikeout of the ball game for Braden Curtin. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, in steps the second baseman, number 16, Rhett Peterson. He'll step in from the right side. With 2 outs, base is empty. The catcher, Borger, moves into the on-deck spot. Should Peterson be able to extend this inning here in the bottom of the third with no runners on, 2 outs. Curtin gets the sign from the windup. The first pitch to Peterson. Swing and a miss, strike 1. A leadoff single by Borger in the top of the first. But then his courtesy runner was caught stealing by Connor Young. Not a base runner since. The 0-1 pitch misses outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Since that point, Curtin has retired 6 straight since the caught stealing. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, just outside for ball number 2. Thought he had the corner on that one, but 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Rhett Peterson, the second baseman. Curtin gets the sign. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive fouled off down the first baseline, carries out of play. Evens up the count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the number 9 hitter, Rhett Peterson. Curtin gets the sign. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive hit into left center field. Cooper Thomas on the run will cut it off. He's going to throw it in, but it's going to be a 2-out double for the second baseman, Rhett Peterson. Second hit of the ball game for the Hawks. They try to get something going here in the bottom of the third with a 2-out double. And that'll take us back to the top of the Hawk lineup as Braden Borger, the catcher, is 1 for 1 in the ball game, will step in. Led off the ball game with a single. But then his courtesy runner, Logan Clark, was thrown out trying to steal second base. Borger steps in. The runner at second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Borger. Hits a line drive center field. Luke Holley on the run. And he'll backpedal, make the catch for out number 3. So the Eagles escape trouble here in the bottom of the third after the 2-out double. L8 in the book to retire Borger and the Hawks here in the bottom of the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, Georgetown 2, Hendrickson nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here, Hendrickson High School, we go to the top of the 4th inning. Through 3 innings, Camden Malott has allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, struck out 5, walked 1, and hit 1. Thrown 49 pitches through 3 innings. 12 in the first, 17 in the second, 20 in the third, and will face off against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Howe, Curtin, and Ritchie. Here in the top of the 4th. First pitch to Howe, misses for ball 1. Jaden 1 for 1 in the ball game. A 2 RBI double back in the second. Was left stranded, or was part of a double play to end the inning. She was forced out at third base. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count now to the left-handed hitting Jaden Howe. Braden Curtin on deck. Tate Ritchie in the hole for Georgetown. Malott from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Howe swinging. Sends it down the third baseline, curling out of play. 1-2 the count now to the senior DH, Jaden Howe. Game 1 of this best of 2 will continue Friday night on Game 2 at Eagle Field, 7 o'clock. Come join us. Malott's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Malott. And with 1 out, the base is empty. In steps the pitcher, Braden Curtin. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout back in the second inning. Steps in here from the right side. Malott from the windup. The first pitch to Curtin. Swinging. Ball sent down the first baseline. Will curl out of play. 0-1 the count to the pitcher, Braden Curtin. Now Malott will step off. The wind continues to blow steadily right to left. The 0-1 pitch to Curtin. Low and inside, bounces away from the catcher, Borger. Evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Braden Curtin. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back to the catcher for strike 2. 1-2 the count now. Got to temper that wind in the ground, Mike. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch from Malott. Outside corner, called strike 3. Curtin down on strikes, looking for out number 2. 7th strikeout of the ball game for Camden Malott here in the 4th inning. In steps Tate Ritchie. Walked back in the second inning. This is Jared Frimmel, lets him know, hey, hold on, get some more baseballs. Get the crowd going here. Tate Ritchie steps in with 2 outs. Base is empty here in the top of the 4th. Georgetown the 2-run lead with 2 runs in the top of the 2nd. Malott from the windup. The first pitch to Tate. Squares the bunt. Bunts out in front of the mound. Malott will field it to throw to first in time. And the Eagles go in order here in the top of the 4th. 1-3 on the putout of Ritchie for out number 3. And after 3.5, Georgetown 2, Hendrickson 0. Eagle baseball will continue in a moment. Back here live, Hendrickson High School. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Braden Curtin on for his fourth inning of work. Will face off against the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Haslam, McCracken, and Malott. Haslam 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out swinging back in the first inning. Curtin has thrown 34 pitches through 3. First pitch is in there for a called strike on Haslam. 0-1 to count. Through 3 innings, Curtin has scattered 2 hits, struck out 3. 16 pitches in the first, 6 in the second, 12 in the third. The 0-1 misses for ball 1. 1-1 to count now. To Kevin Haslam, the shortstop. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Chopped foul, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Haslam now. Here in the top of the fourth, 2-0. Georgetown leads it. Haslam back in from the right side. Curtin from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, down the first baseline, out of play. Haslam continues to battle here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As he leads off the top or bottom of the fourth here for the Hendrickson Hawks. One-two pitch, throws the bat out, sends it to left field. Cooper Thomas has a beat on it, makes the catch for out number 1, F7 in the book, to retire Haslam. And with 1 out, the base is empty. In steps the center fielder, number 9, Cole McCracken. McCracken 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Struck out looking to end the first for the Hawks. Steps in here from the left side. Curtin remains in the windup, working from the first base side of the rubber. First pitch to McCracken. Low and inside, ball 1. From the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Cole McCracken, the center fielder. Ground ball pulled foul down the first baseline. 1-2. Now the count to the center fielder, Cole McCracken. Camden Malott, the pitcher, on deck for the Hawks. Curtin looks in to his catcher, Connor Young. Gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch to McCracken. Ground ball pulled down the first baseline. Flewitt's going to step on the bag while fielding the ball for out number 2. 3 unassisted. To record the out of Cole McCracken. That'll bring up the pitcher, number 22, Camden Malott. 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Grounded out to the shortstop, Kiki, back in the second inning. Two outs, the base is empty here at the bottom of the fourth. Malott in from the right side. Curtin from the windup, the first pitch to Malott. Line drive hit out into left field. Cooper Thomas 3 steps to his left and in and makes the catch for out number 3. The Hawks go in order here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 4 complete innings, Georgetown leads it 2-0 over the Hendrickson Hawks. Eagle baseball will continue in a moment. Through 4 innings, Georgetown 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Hendrickson Hawks, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, Georgetown will bring up the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Cooper Thomas, Jack Kiki, and Connor Young due up for Georgetown here in the top of the 5th.
Number 24, Cooper Thomas.
Cooper steps in from the right side. Malott from the windup, first pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Borger for strike 1. Coop 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to the third baseman on the double play. Back in the 2nd inning. Third baseman McGuire stepped on third for 1 out, threw across to first to retire Thomas for out number 3. The 0-1 pitch. Slapped foul down the first baseline. Out of play, 0-2 the count now to Cooper Thomas. The 0-2 pitch. Check down to third on the drop third strike. The umpire said he went. So the catcher throws down to first for the out. 2-3 on the putout on the drop third strike. And for out number 1, the 8th strikeout recorded by McCracken. A bunt by Kiki down the first baseline. Borger, the catcher, up, throws the first in time. And so on the first pitch of the at-bat, 2-3 on the putout. For out number 2 is Borger out from behind the plate, throws down to Hicks for the out. In steps David Fluitt. Fluitt 0 for 2 in the ball game. Correction, Connor Young. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out in the first, struck out swinging in the third. First pitch to Connor Young. Lays off and takes it just low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The base is empty here in the top of the 5th. Young back in for the left side. Malott from the windup. The 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count. Through 4 innings, Malott has thrown 58 pitches. Giving up 2 runs on 4 hits. The 1-1 pitch to Young. Young low on the inside corner. Called strike 2. 1-2 now the count to the sophomore catcher, Connor Young. Young back in for the left side. Malott gets a sign from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now. I'm not an umpire. That one looked better than the one he called strike 2. 2-2 the count now to Connor Young with 2 outs. Base is empty here in the top of the 5th. The 2-2 pitch. Slapped foul into the net down the third baseline, and Connor Young stays alive at the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fluid on deck. Should Young be able to extend the inning? Malott looks in, gets the sign. The 2-2 pitch. Slapped foul back out of play onto the football field. Count still 2-2. Young quickly back in. Malott looks in and gets a sign from Borger. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses for ball 3. The count runs full now to Connor Young. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Base is empty here in the top of the 5th. Malott from the windup, the payoff pitch. Young yanks it foul down the first baseline and stays alive in the at-bat. Connor continues to battle here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs and the base is empty. Full count. Malott The payoff pitch. Base hit down the third base line, just inside the bag. Connor Young around first base. He's going to head to second, and he's going to cruise in with a 2-out double here in the top of the 5th inning. What a great at-bat there by Connor Young on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Drives it just inside the bag at third base to the corner. Justin Soto will come in to courtesy run for the catcher, Connor Young. 5th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Four of those 5 hits have been for extra bases. Fluid steps in, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out in the first, hit by a pitch and left stranded on base in the third. Malott from the stretch, the first pitch to Fluid inside, almost hit him again. 1-0 the count to Fluid. Fluid back in, the lefty ready. Malott comes set, a look back at Soto at second. The 1-0 pitch. Stays outside, Soto off and running as the third baseman McGuire not paying attention. And a nice stolen base there by Soto. Puts another runner, puts him just 90 feet away here with 2 outs. A 2-0 count to David Fluid. Malott comes set in the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Fluid drives it left center field. Base hit. That'll score the 3rd run of the ball game as David Fluid drives in Soto with 2 outs. And more 2-out damage done by the Eagles this season. Soto cruises in on the 6th base hit of the ball game. An RBI single by David Fluid. That'll bring up Hayden Grooms, who's 2 for 2. Hayden doubled and scored a run in the second, doubled and left stranded in the third. 2 for 2 in the ball game with 2 extra base hits. Steps in here with 2 outs. A runner at first base is Fluid being held on by Hicks over at first base. Malott stays in the stretch, comes set. The first pitch, Groom swinging, pop fly right side of the infield. First baseman Hicks calls for it. It's called off by Peterson, the second baseman, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. P4 in the book, retire Grooms and the Eagles here in the top of the 5th, but not before Georgetown picks up 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 4.5, Georgetown 3, Hendrickson nothing. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. King's Pest Control, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Call them 512-930-PEST, 512-930-7378. Visit them, www.kingspest.com. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Hendrickson Hawks will bring up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Fierro, McGuire, and Padilla. Fierro steps in to lead it off from the right side, 0 for 1 in the ball game. as Curtin works in his 5th inning here for Georgetown. The first pitch to Fierro, inside for ball 1. Through 4 innings, Curtin has allowed 2 hits, struck out 3. Stranded 1 base runner, thrown 44 pitches through the 4 innings. As he works here in inning number 5. The 1-0 pitch to Fierro. Swing and a miss, evens out the count at 1-1. To the DH, Gavin Fierro. Fierro back in from the right side. Curtin gets the sign from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2, now the count to the DH. Eagle dugout going on down the third baseline, leading it 3-0. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Line drive into left field, a base hit for Gavin Fierro. So we lead off base hit. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Hawks. Gives them a leadoff base runner. That'll bring up the 3rd baseman, number 11, Jake McGuire. McGuire 0 for 1 in the ball game, lined out to Hunter at second base on that kind of dying liner towards the bag. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Fluid holds on Fierro at first, not a very big lead as Curtin throws the first pitch. Bunt, nope, throws back behind Fierro. Slap tag by Fluid, not in time. 1-0 the count to McGuire as that one missed for ball 1. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball into left field. Between short and third. Grooms up on the grass at third, thinking a bunt might be coming after the bunt squared a bunt last time. But back-to-back base hits has runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 5th for the Hawks. 4th hit of the ball game for Hendrickson. Connor Padilla will step in for the Hawks, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He popped out in foul territory back in the 3rd inning to David Fluid. Connor Young, quick visit out to his pitcher. First 2 men aboard here in the bottom of the 5th for the Hawks. On back-to-back singles to left field. Fluid up on the grass at first base. Grooms even with the bag at third. Curtin comes set, a look at second. The throw to second base, not in time. Off the glove of Kiki into center field. But Luke Holley charging in will keep Fierro at second base. Curtin will get the sign. Comes set in the stretch. Padilla ready from the right side. Another throw to second base. Fierro dives in under the tag from Kiki. Eagles expecting a bunt here from Padilla. Flew it up on the grass at first base. Grooms even with the bag at third. Curtin to look at second. The first pitch, bunt. And it's a high pitch and bunts it foul down the first baseline. 0-1 the count to Padilla with Hunter Hicks on deck for the Hawks. 0-1 the count. To Connor Padilla, the left fielder. Back in from the right side as Curtin comes set in the stretch. Look at second base. The 1-0 pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. One and one to count. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. A leadoff line drive base hit by Gavin Fierro to left field. Then a seeing eye single into left field by McGuire. And the 1-1 pitch hits Padilla, and the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the fifth with no outs for the Hendrickson Hawks. First batter hit by a pitch by Curtin. The bases loaded. In steps number 8, Hunter Hicks, the first baseman. And that'll bring out a visit from pitching coach Chad Payne. We'll take the break with him. Georgetown baseball continues in a moment here on the SHN Sports Network. Back live here at Henderson High School after the mound visit from pitching coach Chad Payne. We're in the bottom of the fifth. The Hawks have loaded it up with no outs. Fluid and Grooms in on the corners. Middle infield, a double play depth. Left-handed hitting Hunter Hicks in. The first pitch misses for ball 1. A leadoff single by Fierro to left field, and then a seeing eye single through the left side by McGuire. Then a hit by pitch. Connor Padilla, the left fielder, has loaded him up for the Hawks here in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 pitch to Hunter Hicks. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball hit out to second. Hunter up with it. Flips to short for 1. The throw to first in time is not there. I think they're going to call the runner at second. They're going to call him out. Going to score the first run of the ball game. But the field umpire calls out Padilla at second base on the flip from Hunter to Kiki. Pitch went high. No matter that outcome, it'll be the first run across for the Hawks. On the fielder's choice by Hicks. So Fierro comes in to score from third. McGuire moves up to third. And if the home plate umpire is able to overturn this with the mound in front of him, I have a feeling Jordan Vieira may find his way to the bus. I don't think that's going to even be possible when his job is to watch other things than that play at second base. So we'll see what happens here on the conference between the officials. They're going to stay with a call. Padilla is out at second base. So the out for Padilla is 4-6 on the putout for out number 1. Hicks reaches on the fielder's choice, an RBI that scored Fierro from third. Now runners on the corners for the Hawks with 1 run across. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Rhett Peterson, who had a 2-out double in the third. Was left stranded there, steps in from the right side, runners on first and third. Curtin comes set, throw over to first base. As Hicks dives back in safely with that attack. So 1 out. Grooms even with the bag at third. Fluid holds on the runner. Hicks at first. Middle infield at double play depth. Another throw to first. And Curtin throws it over Fluid down the first baseline. That'll score the runner from third. As Jake McGuire comes in on the error. Hicks advances to second base on that same error. And now it's 3-2 with one out and a runner at second base. So one error on that play. First error of the ball game. Moves another runner into scoring position and plates the second run of the ball game for Hendrickson. The first pitch here to Peterson. Throw to second base. Padilla dives back in safely. Rhett Peterson, the number 9 hitter, 1 for 1 in the ball game, steps in. One out, a runner at second, 2 runs across. The first pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Peterson. On deck, the catcher, Braden Borger. Two runs across here in the inning on 2 hits and 1 error. 1 out, a runner at second. The 1-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count to Peterson. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch to Peterson. Down and in. It's a wild pitch, and that'll allow Hicks to move up to third base. First wild pitch of the ball game. And now the tying run for the Hawks is down at third base with 1 out. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Rhett Peterson. Last week, Hendrickson split with Weiss on their 2-game series. Trying to even it back up here in the bottom of the 5th with Georgetown. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. Evens out the count at 2-2 now to Rhett Peterson, the second baseman. Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Curtin and a big one. Now 2 outs in the inning as we go to the top of the lineup to Braden Borger, the catcher.
Number 18.
And that's going to be an intentional walk to Borger. Now number 19, Logan Clark, will come out to run for the catcher, Borger. See the intelligence there behind that decision for Coach Vieira. One, you create a force at first and second base now, and you bring up a batter that's 0 for 2 in the ballgame with a strikeout and a flyout, as compared to Borger, who started off the ballgame in the bottom of the 1st with a base hit, and the crafty hitter there in Borger. So he gets intentionally walked. Logan Clark on to run. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Curtin will now pitch to Kevin Haslam, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2, a throw to first. Clark dives back in safely. Strike out in the 1st, fly out to left in the 4th for Haslam, who's 0 for 2. Steps in for the right side. 2 outs and runners on the corners. Curtin comes set. The first pitch. Haslam fouls it off back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Three to 2 your score. Georgetown leads it by 1. The Hawks threatening. They put up 2 here in the inning. A runner at third base. And a runner at first base with 2 outs. An 0-1 count to Haslam. Fluid holds on Clark at first as Curtin comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Down in the turf. Good block by Connor Young. 1-1 the count. On deck, the center fielder, Cole McCracken. For the Hawks, should Haslam extend the inning here. The 1-1 pitch. Pop fly right side of the infield. Fluid gives chase into foul territory and makes the catch. And the payoff there for Coach Vieira to intentionally walk Borger. Haslam fouls out, and the inning comes to a close here in the bottom of the fifth for the Hawks. P3 in the book to retire Haslam and the Hawks, but not before they pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. After 5 complete, Georgetown 3, Hendrickson 2. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Go to the top of the 6th. Luke Holley will lead it off for Georgetown. First pitch from Malott in there for a called strike. Holley 1 for 2 in the ball game. Bunt single in the first and scored a run. Struck out swinging in the third. Third baseman McGuire plays up on the edge of the grass, expecting a possible bunt. The 0-1 pitch inside, ball 1. 1-1 to count now to the senior center fielder, Luke Holley. So the gamble by Coach Vieira pays off with the intentional walk of Borger. Haslam fouls out. 3-2 your score. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2 to the count to Holley. Holley, Howell, and Curtin do up here in the top of the 6th. Malott from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Holley stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Through 5 innings, Malott has given up 3 runs on 6 hits, struck out 8, walked 1, hit 1. He's thrown 75 pitches through 5 innings. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch to Holley. Shot to left field. The left fielder on the run, and he's going to watch it go. A solo tank for Luke Holley. The Eagles get back 1 of the 2 runs given up in the bottom of the 5th by the solo bomb by Luke Holley. Touch them all, big boy. 4-2. Georgetown leads it. 7th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Solo bomb by Luke Holley, and what a shot there as Padilla watched it go. So a leadoff home run brings up Jaden Howell with no outs and the base is empty. Howell 1 for 2 in the ball game. A 2 RBI double in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 4th. Malott from the windup, first pitch. Howell fouls it back to the screen. 0-1 to count. Luke, a 2 for 3 night with 2 runs scored on that bomb to start the top of the 6th inning and make it a 2-run ball game. 0-1 pitch on the inside corner for called strike 2 to Jaden Howell. Behind in the count now, no balls, 2 strikes with no outs. The base is empty here in the top of the 6th. Malott from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Howell back in, Malott ready to go. The 1-2 pitch. Howell hits it out towards second. Peterson up with it, sets his feet and throws to first in time to retire Howell at first base. 4-3 on the putout for out number 1. With 1 out, the base is empty. It'll bring up the pitcher, number 21, Braden Curtin. Never mind. That'll bring up number 14, the pinch hitter. That's Braden Rogers. And a pinch hit here in the number 7 slot. Braden Rogers will step in. On the season, batting .400. 6 hits and 15 at-bats. 6 RBIs. So Rogers will pinch here, but a quick visit from the dugout of the Hawks here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll turn down the rock concert on the overhead speakers. But Georgetown answers with one of their own here to start the top of the 6th on the Luke Holley solo home run to left field. And the Eagles lead it 4-2. 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, 1 here in the 6th so far. The Hawks have answered with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. And now Braden Rogers will step in here with 1 out and the base is empty. Hitting for Braden Curtin. Malott will pitch out of the windup to the right-handed hitting junior, Braden Rogers. The first pitch to Rogers. Low and outside, ball 1. On deck, Tate Ritchie for the Eagles. Rogers back in. Malott from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. That one just misses for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Braden Rogers. Malott looks in from the windup, the 2-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 2-1 the count. Rogers ready to go. Malott from the windup. The 2-1 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 3. 3-1 the count now to Braden Rogers. Pinch hitting here in the number 7 slot for Braden Curtin in the top of the 6th inning. That'll have us a call to the bullpen when we go to the bottom of the 6th. Malott from the windup. The 3-1 pitch to Rogers. Misses outside. Oh, wow. It's been a ball all night. Now it's a strike, and it's a full count to Braden Rogers. Braden back in. Malott from the windup. The payoff pitch. Fouled off. Into the glove of Borger for strike 3. 9th strikeout of the ball game. Recorded there for Malott. And in steps Tate Ritchie. Now Coach Vieira going to ask for assistance. That one bounced into the glove of Borger. And it did. So, a good job by the field umpire and the home umpire getting together there. So, it's not a strikeout of Braden Rogers just yet. The count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As that one bounced into the glove of the catcher, Borger. So, Malott back in the windup. The payoff pitch to Rogers. Slap foul into the first base dugout. Rogers continues to battle here with a full count. And 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th. The payoff pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. Braden Rogers battles here in the top of the 6th. Malott looks in from the windup. The 3-2 pitch to Rogers. Grounded back towards the pitcher. Malott up with it. He'll flip to first in time to record the out. So instead of a strikeout, it'll go 1-3 on the putout. For out number 2. That'll bring up the right fielder, number 4, Tate Ritchie. 2 outs. The base is empty here at the bottom of the 6th. 1 run across on the solo homer by Luke Holley. Ritchie 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked and left straight in the 2nd. Grounded out on the bunt attempt in the 4th. Tate in from the right side. Malott from the windup. The first pitch to Tate. Outside for ball 1. Want to know the count to Tate. Cooper Thomas in the on-deck slot. The 1-0 pitch. This is for ball 2. 2-0 the count. The senior right fielder, Tate Ritchie. Ritchie ready to go from the right side. Malott from the windup, the 2-0 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Tate Ritchie. 2 outs and the base is empty here in the top of the 6th inning. Malott looks in, gets the sign from Borger. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. 2-2 now the count. The next pitch by Malott will be the 100th of the night. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty here in the top of the 6th. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Stays outside, ball 3. Full count now to Tate Ritchie. Malott gets a sign from Borger. From the windup, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Ritchie down on strikes as the Eagles go here in the bottom or top of the 6th. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors and nobody left on. After 5.5, Georgetown 4, Hendrickson 2. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here live, Hendrickson High School. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Georgetown leads it 4-2. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for Georgetown. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Hawks. As the Hawks will bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters here in the bottom of the inning. Curtin back on to pitch for the inning for the Eagles here in the 6th. The first pitch in there for a called strike to Cole McCracken, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking in the first, grounded out on a 3 unassisted in the 4th inning. The lefty back in with the no ball, 1 strike count. Curtin from the windup, the 0-1 pitch. Skips in for ball 1, 1-1 to count. Through 5 innings, Curtin has given up 2 runs on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch, 1 wild pitch. Through 20 pitches in the inning, 64 through 5. The 1-1 pitch. Low for ball 2, 2-1 to count. On the schedule the rest of the week, coaches show at Camp Brightside Thursday night, 6:45 start. And then Friday night, we'll be at home to take on these Hendrickson Hawks at 7 p.m. at Eagle Field. 2-1 pitch, pop fly. Out into center field, Luke Holley waits on it, settles under it, makes the catch. 4 out, number 1, F8 in the book to retire McCracken. And with the 1 out, that'll bring up the pitcher, number 22, Camden Malott.
Number 22, Camden Malott.
Malott will step in from the right side, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out to second grounded out to short in the second, lined out to left field in the 4th. Steps in here with 1 out. Steps in here with one out. The base is empty in the bottom of the 6th. Curtin from the windup. The first pitch to Malott. That one's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Friday night at Eagle Field, 7 o'clock. Come join us there. Cheer on your Eagles. They take on the Hawks at Game 2. And then Saturday at 1 p.m. take on Waco Midway back at Eagle Field. The 0-1 pitch. Mitch is low and away for ball 1. 1-1 the count. On deck, the DH, Gavin Fierro. For the Hawks here in the bottom of the 6th. Curtin will get the sign from Connor Young. The 1-1 pitch to Malott. Misses outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Malott back in. Curtin looks in and gets the sign. The 2-1 pitch to the pitcher, Malott. Just low for ball 3. 3-1 the count now. Malott back in from the right side. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 6th. The 3-1 pitch. Misses for ball 4. So a 1-out base runner on the walk. First walk issued by Curtin in the ball game. And that'll bring out a courtesy runner for the Hawks. That'll bring out number 6. Aiden Torres will come on to run for the pitcher, Malott. Gavin Fierro, the DH, will step in. He's 1 for 2 of the ball game. And this will be it for Braden Curtin as Coach Vieira heads to the mound. Quick timeout. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. Back here at Hendrickson High School in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Eagles go to the bullpen. And we'll bring you the defensive changes. Braden Curtin will come off the mound and move to first base. Fluitt will leave the ball game defensively for the Eagles. And to the mound goes number 1, Tillman Brown, the junior right-hander. He'll come in to pitch for the Eagles in relief. Curtin goes 5 1/3 innings, allows 2 runs on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 wild pitch. Can't close the book on Curtin yet. He is responsible for the runner at first base with the 1 out, and here in the bottom of the 6th. But Tillman Brown will come on to face Gavin Fierro, the DH. Tillman Brown will come in. Fourth game of the year for Tillman to pitch in. As he comes in here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. A runner at first base. And Gavin Fierro steps in, the DH, who's 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Brown works out of the stretch with a runner at first. The first pitch to Fierro stays high for ball 1. Number 6 running at first base for the pitcher Malott. That is Aiden Torres, the senior. As he leads off first, Curtin holds him on there. Brown a look at first. Now will come set in the stretch. 1 ball, no strike. A 1 out. Throw to first base. Torres dives back in under the tag. Grooms just about a step off the grass at third base. As Brown comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 2. 2-0 the count now. To Gavin Fierro with Jake McGuire, the third baseman, on deck. It all started in the 5th inning with Fierro and McGuire. Fierro singled to left. McGuire followed it up with a seeing eye base hit into left field. Both runners came around to score in the inning. Well, the 2 runs in the ballgame for the Hawks. And Brown will come set in the stretch. 2 ball, no strike count to Fierro. The 2-0 pitch. Misses low and inside. Ball 3. 3-0 the count. To the DH, Gavin Fierro, who hits in the number 5 slot for the Hawks. Brown will take his second off the back of the mound. He'll toe the rubber with a 3 ball, no strike count. 1 out. A 1 out and a runner at first base here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hawks trying to get back into this. They trail by 2. Throw to first base. Torres dives back in safely. Fierro back in from the right side as Brown gets a sign and comes set in the stretch. The 3-0 pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 3-1 the count now to Gavin Fierro. Torres with the lead off first. Curtin holds him on there. Grooms even with the bag at third now. Brown comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Just misses for ball 4. So runners on first and second on back-to-back walks.
Number 11.
That'll bring up number 11, Jake McGuire, the third baseman. Runners on first and second. McGuire 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Lined out to second in the second inning. Singled and scored a run in the 5th. Steps in here with 2 runners on first and second base with 1 out. Tillman Brown on a relief. Comes set in the stretch. A look at second base. First pitch. Nope. You're going to throw to second base. It's behind Kiki into center field. Torres is going to advance to third on the error. So second error of the ball game for Georgetown there on that throwing error. And now runners at the corners. For the Hawks here in the 6th inning. 1 out. Curtin will hold Fierro on at first base. Torres leads off third. McGuire will take a timeout, step out, reset. One out, runners at the corners. Here in the bottom of the sixth, 4-2. Georgetown leads it. Hendrickson trying to get back into it. Brown comes set in the stretch. The first pitch to McGuire is low for ball one. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes. One out, runners on the corners. Brown comes set in the stretch. The 1-0 pitch to McGuire. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. The pace of this game has slowed down immensely here in the bottom of the sixth. Brown toes the rubber. 1-1 count to McGuire. Torres off third. Fierro being held on by Curtin at first base as Tillman Brown comes set in the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch down to the turf. 1-2 the count now to McGuire. Connor Padilla, the left fielder, on deck for the Hawks here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Brown comes set in the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball hit out to short. Kiki to his right will field. He only plays to first, and it's in time. That'll score Torres from third. But now 2 outs in the inning with a runner at second base. As McGuire gets the RBI for driving in Aiden Torres for the third run of the ball game for the Hawks. That run will be charged to Braden Curtin. We can close the book on him. McGuire 6-3 on the putout for out number 2. Fierro advances to second. That'll bring up Connor Padilla. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to first base in foul territory back in the third inning. Was hit by a pitch and left stranded. Or cut down on the 4-6 putout back in the fifth inning. First pitch to Padilla, sails up and in for ball one. The tying run for the Hawks is out at second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Close the book on Braden Curtin now. 5 1/3 inning, 73 pitches, 3 runs on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 wild pitch. And Tillman Brown works here in the bottom of the sixth. The 1-0 pitch to Padilla. Up for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Hunter Hicks, the first baseman, on deck. Should Padilla be able to extend the inning here for Hendrickson. 2-0 count to Padilla with 2 outs. Runner at second. Pinch hitter on deck. It is not Hunter Hicks. The 2-0 pitch. That's down Main Street for a called strike. 2-1 the count. On deck now is number 15 for the Hawks. That is Landry Pruitt, the senior utility. On the on-deck circle to hit for Hunter Hicks. Tillman Brown comes set in the stretch. A look at second. The 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. Nice pitch there by Tillman. And now a 2-ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at second base. 4-3. Georgetown leads it by 1. Padilla back in from the right side. Tillman Brown looks in, gets the sign. Comes set in the stretch. A look at second. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball chopped out. Brown lets it go. Kiki on the charge. Throws the first. In time! 6-3 on the putout to end the inning for Hendrickson. Beautiful play by Kiki there. But the Hawks pick up 1 run on no hits. 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. After 6 complete, Georgetown 4, Hendrickson 3. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues in a moment on SHN Sports.
Royalty, put blame on me. Hate my trend, word up OG. Watch how you talking your tone. What I be on, you cannot make me a clone. You already know T versus T. Comparing to every white boy in America. I'm doing it different, attacking the limits, won't fit the criteria. Hearing hysteria, saying American. Hang around you and your crew's embarrassing. Take that sneak post down, flexing on me is hilarious.
We go to the bottom of the 7th, live here at Hendrickson High School. The rock concert continues late into the night. And Hendrickson brings Malott back onto the mound at 100 pitches, so he's got 10 pitches remaining before he comes out of the ball game. He'll face off against the 9-1-2 hitters for Georgetown. Cooper Thomas, Jack Kiki, and Connor Young. Cooper Thomas 0 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch from Malott. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Through 6 innings, 4 runs on 7 hits. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch for Malott. The 0-1 pitch to Cooper Thomas. It's in there for a called strike. 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes to Cooper Thomas. Malott from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Cooper back in for the right side. Malott from the windup. The 1-2. Fouled off, back out of play, down the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Cooper Thomas. The 1-2 pitch. Coop fouls it back, down the first baseline, out of play. Georgetown helping out their own cost, trying to run that pitch count up on Malott, get him out of the ball game, get to the bullpen. On the board officially, 104 pitches for Malott. From the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, it's down in the turf. Cooper Thomas tagged out for out number 1. 10th strikeout of the ball game for Camden Malott. That'll bring up Jack Kiki, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Struck out in the first, struck out in the third. Grounded out on a bunt attempt in the 5th. Kiki in from the right side. Malott from the windup. 1 out, the base is empty here in the top of the 7th. Kiki takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch to Jack. Ball sent into right field, a shallow one to second base. Peterson circles and makes the catch. P4 in the book to retire Jack for out number 2. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, it'll bring up Connor Young. 107 pitches by Malott. So this will be the last batter no matter what for Malott. He'll pitch, get the 110 count, can finish the batter. So Connor will step in from the left side. 1 for 3 in the ball game. First pitch from Malott. Inside for ball 1. Grounded out in the first, struck out swinging in the third, doubled and scored a run in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch from Malott. Connor takes it on the inside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count. The next pitch will be the 110th of the 9th. for Camden Malott, the senior right-hander for the Hawks. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Rounded off his own leg. Strike two, 1-2 the count. David Fluitt. On deck. Young back in for the left side. The 1-2 pitch. Connor Young yanks it foul down the first baseline. 1-2 remains the count. Connor Young keeps the bat at live. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The base is empty here in the top of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch. Down in the turf for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Connor Young lays off. Malott gets the sign from Borger. The 2-2 pitch. Now tip into the glove for strike 3, and the Eagles go in order. Here in the top of the 7th on the 11th strikeout.
Let's go,
For Malott in his performance tonight. After 6.5. Georgetown 4, Hendrickson 3. Eagle baseball continues after this.
Yeah. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking Bake Brody. Pin rolling, never sleep, I just keep going. Hit my peak now, I just started like my name Tommy. Had a vision, this was destined for my life story. Bible by my side, I keep it like a gun on me. War ready, and we ain't afraid to get bloody. Told me I should quit my day job, that's funny. Hate will always elevate me, I'ma keep showing. Out and selling, record spinning, it ain't never slowing. Take the stakes, take the crown, I don't need it, got the sound. I'ma be the king forever, even when they count me out. Favorite rapper's favorite rapper, raise a bar from the ground. Taking risks you never dreamed of, get my name up out your mouth. Don't talk, it's silent on the floor, kings walk. We gon' drag your body through the door in shock. How I got 'em asking for a tour, man, stop. I'ma need a second, maybe more. I'm the big homie, for those of y'all that don't know me. One and only, name another rapper, this Cody. Can't show me these down bad rap phonies. Take a pic to Ricky Bobby shaking Bake Brody. Independent on my own, I'ma stand. Taking handouts, not for me, I like the back of my demands. Bet against me, I'ma need that money coming in advance. I play with God's hand.
King's Pest Control, serving Williamson County's pest control needs for over 40 years. Family and locally owned since 1982. Safe and reliable pest control services for your home or business. Call them 512-930-PEST, 512-930-7378, or visit them at kingspest.com. And as we come back here to Hendrickson High School, we go to the bottom of the 7th, and some changes for Georgetown as Hayden Grooms will leave third base and head to the mound to try to get the save here over the Hendrickson Hawks in the bottom of the 7th. Defensively, Fluitt back to first base, and Braden Curtin to third base for Georgetown. Thomas, Holley, and Richie stay in the outfield. Hunter and Kiki stay set at second and short. Connor Young behind the plate. But Curtin to third base, Grooms to the mound, and Fluitt back to first base for your Georgetown Eagles. Pinch hitter here for the Hendrickson Hawks as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Number 15, Landry Pruitt, the senior, will come in to hit in the number 8 slot. To pitch it for the first baseman, Hunter Hicks. Step in from the right side. First pitch from Grooms in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch, breaking pitch, a beauty in there, called strike 2. 0-2 the count. The count. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball pulled down the third baseline, foul. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. In 2/3 of an inning, Tillman Brown threw 14 pitches, walked 1. And Now relieved by Hayden Grooms, third pitcher of the night for Georgetown. Grooms from the windup. The 0-2 pitch to Landry Pruitt, the pinch hitter. Chases it down the turf, but it gets away from Connor Young. And just like that, the Hawks have a leadoff base runner on the strikeout. So the tying a run down at first base for the Hawks. And in steps number 16, Rhett Peterson, the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. And now a pinch runner into the ball game. Number 20, Wesley Burkhardt, comes in to run for the pinch hitter, Landry Pruitt. Rhett Peterson 1 for 2 in the ball game. Doubled and left stranded in the third. Struck out swinging in the fifth. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. In the bottom of the seventh, 4-3, Georgetown leads it. Hendrickson trying to tie it up. Grooms moves to the stretch. The runner at first being held on by Fluitt. The first pitch on the inside corner for a called strike to Peterson. 0-1 to count. Peterson back in from the right side. Grooms gets a sign, comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Up and away. Throw back behind the runner, and he got him! Connor Young back picks another. What a big play. The pinch runner comes in. Burkhardt gets thrown out. Picked off by Connor Young on the back pick at first base. And just like that, the tying run is erased from the base paths. 2-3 on the pickoff for round number 1. What a play by Connor Young. The 0-1 pitch. The 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. 2-1 to count to Rhett Peterson. On deck, the catcher, Braden Borger. The 2-1 pitch. Fly ball back out of play. 2-2. Now the count to the second baseman, Rhett Peterson. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Grooms from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive, head out into right field. Tate Ritchie to his right, makes the catch. 2 outs. F9 in the book to retire Peterson. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, in steps the catcher, number 18, Braden Borger. Braden Borger 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled back in the first, lined out to center in the third, and was intentionally walked in the 5th inning. The Hawks down to their final out here in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 4-3. Base is empty. Grooms from the windup. The first pitch to Borger. Strike 1. Beautiful pitch there by Hayden Grooms on the outside corner. 0-1 to count. Borger back in from the left side. Grooms gets the sign. The 0-1 pitch. Skips it in. Ball 1. 1-1 to count. On deck, Kevin Haslam, the shortstop. Should Borger be able to extend the inning here in the bottom of the 7th? From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball into right field, base hit. A 2-out single. The 5th hit of the night for the Hawks. Coach Vieira out to talk to the home plate umpire. As Haslam will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Borger will run for himself on this in the bottom of the 7th. The Hawks trail by 1, 4-3. No, it is going to be a courtesy runner for the catcher. It's going to be number 19, Landon Clark. Make sure that's 19. If it's number 9, he can't run for the catcher because he's due up. He's not. It's Landon Clark. First pitch to Haslam. Misses for ball 1. Number 19, Logan Clark, the courtesy runner down at first. Represents the tying run. Haslam 0 for 3 in the ball game. Grooms comes set, the 1-0 pitch. in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Struck out in the first, flew out to left in the fourth, popped out to first base in the fifth inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first. The runner at first represents the tying run for the Hawks here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count to Kevin Haslam, the shortstop. The Hawks down to their final out, or final strike. Grooms gets the sign and comes set in the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Pop up left side of the infield. Braden Curtin backs up. Loses it. It's down. Can't make the play, and it's in fair territory. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs. And in steps Cole McCracken, the center fielder, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game. So Haslam reaches on the error. 3rd error of the ball game for Georgetown. And now the tying run, just 90 feet away with 2 outs. McCracken 0 for 3, struck out looking in the first, grounded out in the fourth, flew out in the 6th. The lefty in is Grooms from the stretch. 4-3, the winning run at first base, the tying run at third. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count to McCracken. On deck, Malott. Should McCracken be able to extend the ball game? Grooms comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. In there, called strike 2. 0-2 the count to Cole McCracken, the center fielder. The tying run 90 feet away at third base in Logan Clark. In the bottom of the 7th, no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch fouled off. McCracken stays alive, fouls it back behind home plate. We'll reset and do it again. 4-3, Georgetown leads it. Hendrickson has runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. An 0-2 count to the number 3 hitter, Cole McCracken. Grooms looks at first, now comes set in the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards first. Flew it, will field it, flip to Grooms at first, and the ball game's over. 3-1 on the putout. Georgetown wins it 4-3 over the Hendrickson Hawks. Hayden Grooms comes in and saves it for the Eagles. 4-3, they win it to go to 6-1 in district play. The Hawks fall to 3-2 in district and drop into a tie at second place, depending on what Hendrickson did tonight against Conley. But Georgetown knows they lead the district by themselves in first place with the 4-3 victory here at Hendrickson High School tonight in Game 1 of this best-of-2 series. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the Eagles. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Hawks. Georgetown wins another close one, 4-3 over the Hendrickson Hawks. How big was that solo home run by Luke Holley in the top of the 6th inning to make it a 4-2 ball game? Georgetown wins it 4-3 over the Hendrickson Hawks. Thanks for joining us live here tonight at Hendrickson High School. Thursday night, we'll be at Camp Brightside for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show at 6:45, 7 o'clock. Come join us. We'll have the Freshman Player of the Week, the JV Player of the Week, and 2 varsity players to talk Eagle baseball with Coach Jordan Vieira. And then go back at it Friday night at Georgetown's Eagle Field to take on the Hendrickson Hawks in Game 2 of this 2-game series. Thanks for joining us tonight. Georgetown wins it. They advance to 11, 7-1 on the year, 6-1 in district play. Thanks for joining us. For Wally Harmon, for Jerry Ann Harmon, for First Responder Broadcasting, and a shout-out to the Georgetown Eagle Booster Club and King's Pest Control. Georgetown baseball victorious, 4-3. Have a good night, and remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everybody.